People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of Seven on Blue Sky and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located PurpleButterfly-Soaps.myshopify.com, my blog, PurpleButterfly-People.blogspot.com. And today, I went to pick up the grandbaby and took him home to his mom. So then I hung out until she got off from work because she's working from home, and the baby gets a little boisterous and says stuff like, "Mommy, mommy, open the door," and can't do that when she's on a computer when her boss is Delta. So I hung out with him, kept him nice and quiet, so forth and so on, and when she was off the clock, she presented me with this, which apparently is my Mother's Day presents, and I haven't looked at them yet, so we're going to do that now. Well, something's sticking to the side of the... Oh, wow. It's too cute. Chanel number 5. I gotta find this place to put this. Someplace I can see it. That picture's there permanently. That's stuck to the wall. I'll put it over the sewing machine. Yeah. But look at this. Isn't this cool? And that's glass. Cool. And it's pink. Knowing them, they probably bought it simply because it's pink, because they know that's my favorite color. I can't wait to see the card has a butterfly for a stamp. It says, to Mom, from Earl, Topaz, JJ. P.S. I made the card myself. Love, Earl. So let's see. This is adorable. My son has no crafty genes, not a creative bone in his body, and he did this. I am proud of him. Look at that. Oh. And then there's the inside. This is funny. Okay, Topi says, Mama, happy Mother's Day to my pink-haired purple butterfly. We love you. / Gaga. Mama and Gaga. I'm Gaga to the baby and Mama to her. And this is Topaz and JCon. And then my son wrote, you crazy, but you're our crazy. Love you, Mama. Earl the second. I'm going to get on his case about calling me crazy. I could pass any psychological evaluation out there. Thank you very much. I'm goofy and I'm OCD, but I ain't crazy. This is so pretty. Let me get it in the envelope without messing it up. 'Cause, yeah. I'm going to have to find some place to put this. This is just too cute. But before I do that, let's write Mother's Day 2025. That way when I look at it a couple of years from now, I'll know where that came from. Yep, yep. And hold on. That's an interesting gift bag, what'd you say? Hey. Ooh, Sunshine State of Mind, and they are dish towels. Well, drying towels for dishes. And I needed one of those anyway, so that kind of works out. I'm going to put that over there as soon as I'm done with this video. This is microfiber. Oh, nice. Cool. Okay. I absolutely adore microfiber. It's got a pretty good size to it. Thank you, Topaz. But since this is the smaller of the gift, I'm assuming she's going to say that's from the baby. And then there's, oh, cute. Is that the same butterfly? It sure is. Look at these bows. It's the same butterfly pattern. And this is the perfect size for a cereal bowl. I love deep cereal bowls because when I eat cereal, I don't eat just a little teeny bowl of it. I devour. And then there are plates. 2 of them. Cool. Check that out. This is so cool. Highly durable, heavyweight. Let's see if they're dishwasher safe. Not recommended for the microwave and dishwasher. Hand wash only. Okay. I will not stick them in the dishwasher. I am the dishwasher. But no microwaving, okay? I'll remember that because I do tend to put most things in the microwave, so I know to be aware. And I'm going to have to soak it to get this label off. And let's not ruin the nail polish while we're doing it. But yeah, this is so cool. Let me put this up right quick. Oh, let me move this glass mirror, not mirror, picture out the way because I'm a klutz. I will break stuff. Let me be right back. This will go into the sink because I always wash stuff before I use it. And this will hang on the place I keep the towels. And I put the picture over there leaning against the stove so that way I won't kick it or bump into it while I figure out where am I going to put that, because I really don't know. I wear Coco Chanel pins and necklaces and jewelry. I don't really use the perfume. Chanel No. 5 was their iconic first scent. Well, actually, 5th scent, because there was 4 formulas before it. But that's the one that put them on the map and the one that everybody knows. I've had Chanel No. 5 before. It's a very specific scent. You either love it or you don't. And I didn't mind it, but it made me sneeze, so I gave my bottle away to someone. And they used it for years. That bottle is a substantial size. You don't get rid of that easy, you know. So, yeah, that's going to hang maybe up there. I'll find a space for it. But it's just nice to know they pay attention to me, because a lot of folks, you know, even when they see me with a CC pen, they don't quite make the connection with CC. I have a painting in my bedroom where it's an interpretation of a CC, and then there's lips on it, but the lips are actually butterflies. It's got blue jeans on it and flowers. Basically, the artist gathered all the information of what makes me me and made a painting that was supposed to symbolize me. The only thing I would have did different from the painting is I would have used a lighter background. I like light colors. She used a black background, but it worked. So even though it's not the color scheme I would have chosen, I wouldn't trade it for anything. You know, people have their preferences. Those preferences will lead them to design things a certain way, just like the Alice Bergenberg picture back there, or Bartenberger picture. Never could say that guy's name right. But look at the color scheme. White, pink, purple. And a dash of orange. See, that would be my personal color scheme. I wouldn't have put black on there at all. But the picture with the black background works. When Angel made me the Love Never Dies picture, she used a black background and bright, vibrant colors to make the pathway. It just works. So I can appreciate things with dark colors. It's just that when I choose a palette for myself, I'm going to choose something different. Which gets interesting when I make soaps, because I almost always want to use a light color, and depending on the theme of the soap or the scent of the soap, a light color is not going to be what calls to me. It's like the Unvalentine's Day soap. First of all, the fragrance oil for Dragon's Blood will turn every soap dark brown or black. So I figure that's automatically going to be a black background. But because it was a Valentine's Day soap, it had to have pink or red or some color. And since everybody uses red for Valentine's Day and it was an un-Valentine's Day, then the red had to be the accent and the background had to be black. And I used Voodoo Red Mica, which they call it voodoo, I think, ironically, because the color shifts to different stuff. So that soap actually looks like it's got purple in it. It looks like it's got pink in it, and it looks like it's got red in it, depending on where it was located in the swirl. So that kind of worked out. But by the same token, when I made the unicorn swirl, those were all my favorite colors, and those literally were my personal color palette. So yeah, the Mommy soap. Okay, when I first made Mommy 11 years ago, it was yellow and pink. So the 2025 version had to have yellow, had to have pink. Period. That was not an option. Those two colors had to be in the soap. Then I smelled the fragrance. The fragrance is called Wild Berry Romance. It smells like flowers and berries, blueberry specifically, and that red berry, what's that, raspberry, I think it is, and like a touch of vanilla. So I chose the colors accordingly. I ran out of green, so I used blue tide, which is almost a turquoise green, to give a green effect. The yellow had to be there, so that represents a flower. The red had to be there, that represents a flower. The purple um, is indicative of the blueberries. Plus, there are flowers that are purple, and I mean, each of those colors, the pumpkin head, orange, the original Mommy Mommy with the yellow and the red kind of blended together and gave orange splotches all through the soap. So all those colors went into making that soap, and I used TD with the base so that way it will stay light even though it doesn't discolor. But just a hint of vanilla, even though they say there's not a lot of vanilla, vanilla has a tendency to turn soaps brown, and I wanted no trace of brown. And when I did the swirl, the purple and the yellow kind of got together and made a couple of brown areas, but in a way that looked like a plant. And the green, you know, the yellow and the blue tide kind of gave a green look. There's no green in that soap, there's no brown in that soap, but when you look at it, you see those colors because they did blend and make whole new colors. So that kind of worked out well. And when you think about the way that set came about compared to the way the original came about, it makes sense. But if you say, how did you get that color palette? I don't just up and go, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That never occurs to me. A lot of times, if you've watched any of my videos or been on my Facebook page, sometimes I want to make a soap. I have a scent. I have no idea what color I want to put with it. So I'll say, hey, shout out some colors. And if 4 people shout out a color, that's going to be the color of soap. One time, I think 12 people shouted out colors. That was the best friend soap. If you hold up a bar of it and literally count how many colors, you will get the number of colors that was shouted out. And then when I made Best Friends 2, or the second batch, I did the same thing. So it had different colors, but it was still Best Friends scent and the same concept. Friends shouted out the colors. Anyway, it's time for coffee. It's time for a painkiller because my back is killing me. It is time for bed. I was supposed to take my medicine an hour and 15 minutes ago, and I was hanging out with my daughter and the grandbabies, spoiling the grandbabies. My intent was to wait till he went to sleep so I could sneak off. And then my alarm clock went off, and it was like, oh, it's time to take my medicine, and I didn't have it on me, which is probably a good thing because it's been my experience when I take my medicine, the evening meds, and then drive somewhere, I won't remember how I got home when I get there. I get there safely, but it's like, how did I get here? Which is why I left it on my bedside table, because that way I don't take my medicine because it's a habit to do it at the exact right time. And then, how did I get home? Because one of those days where you're sitting there driving in zombie land, you might miss a step or whatever. Because, yeah, we don't want to be driving on autopilot through Coleraine Township. That's a good way to be exited, and I ain't trying to be exited by negligence on my part. That's not going to happen, okay? Anyway, This has been P+7. I'm giddy now. That's another thing. When I get sleepy, I get punch drunk. It's like I get goofy and silly and all that, and it shows. But anyway, this has been P+7 on Blue Sky and YouTube. People elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located at PurpleButterfly-soaps.myshopify.com. My blog, PurpleButterfly-people.blogspot.com. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that like button. Bye now.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.